72 hours. That's how long you have before the man who never showed his face makes his final call. Not 73, not 75, 72. And the clock started the moment that van door slammed shut. Right now, you're at 71 hours, 44 minutes. You have no phone, no ID, no one who knows exactly where you are. And somewhere above you, in a concrete room in a city that doesn't appear on any tourist map, 3 men are deciding whether you're worth more alive than dead. They haven't decided yet. Start counting. It started like any other morning. You're an American journalist on a freelance assignment in a border city in northern Mexico. You've been here before. You know the rules. Stay in the tourist zones. Don't ask certain questions. Don't photograph anything near the port of entry. But 3 days ago, a local source offered you something nobody else had. A name, a location, a story worth risking everything for. You should have walked away. Instead, you got into a cab. The driver was quiet, professional looking, but 15 minutes in, you noticed he hadn't turned toward your hotel. The route was wrong. And then, a sound you will never forget for the rest of your life. The door locks clicking down. Before you could reach the handle, the car stopped. The doors flew open. 3 men pulled you out and had a hood over your head before you could draw enough breath to scream. That was 45 minutes ago. The van that took you wasn't some movie villain's blacked-out SUV. It was a dusty white pickup, the kind every rancher, every construction crew, every nobody in northern Mexico drives. Tinted rear windows, a cracked side mirror held on with electrical tape. It smelled like motor oil and dried chili, and something underneath that you didn't want to identify. 2 men in the back with you, no masks, which told you something. Either they weren't worried about you seeing their faces, or they weren't planning on you needing to remember them. The van stops. You're dragged out. Gravel under your shoes. Steps. 1, 2, 3. Then a metal door. The air changes, cool and stale, like a room that hasn't been opened in months. You're pushed into a chair. The zip ties are replaced with a chain bolted to the wall. Then, silence. For 20 full minutes, not a word. This is the first test. Most people fail it. The silence is designed to make you beg, to make you start talking before they even ask anything, to hand them leverage before the interrogation even begins. You keep your mouth shut. Then a light clicks on to your left. Footsteps. A voice, calm, almost bored. Who sent you? You tell them the truth. You're a journalist, just a journalist. Press credentials. Your publication will notice you're missing. People know where you are. None of that is entirely true, but they don't know that. The light goes off. You're alone again, and a new fear rises. Not fear of what they'll do to your body, fear of what they might get out of your mouth. Because if they think you're valuable, you live. But if they decide you know too much, you stop that thought before it finishes itself. Hours pass. You count them by the sound of a dripping pipe in the northeast corner of the room. Roughly once a minute. 60 drips. 1 hour. You lose count somewhere around hour 4 when the dehydration starts making your vision swim. At hour 6, someone slides a water bottle and a piece of bread under the door. No words. No eye contact. You almost don't eat it. Then you remember the only rule that matters right now. Your body is the only tool you have. Do not let it break. You eat every crumb. By hour 12, something shifts. The fear is still there, but it's changed shape. It's no longer sharp and electric. It's settled into something heavier. A low, constant pressure behind your sternum that doesn't spike anymore. And that shift, as strange as it sounds, is what finally lets you think. Your mouth has stopped going dry every 30 seconds. Your hands have mostly stopped shaking. Mostly. But your ears are still ringing. That high-pitched tone that lives inside your skull when your nervous system has been running on adrenaline for half a day. You breathe through it, slow, silent, controlled. And you start to read the room the way a chess player reads a board. First, Who has you? From the accents outside, the cadence of the voices, the route the van took before the hood went on. You're somewhere south of the city, border cartel territory. That narrows it to 2, maybe 3 organizations. Second, why? They haven't hurt you. No ransom number yet. They're waiting for orders from above, for information from somewhere else. That means there's a chain of command. Whoever took you is not the decision maker. That is both terrifying and useful. It means your fate isn't in this room. It's somewhere else, being calculated by someone you'll never see. And that means you have time. Use it. The door opens at hour 14. A new man, different energy from the others, younger than you expected, maybe 30, clean shirt, no weapon visible. He sits across from you and removes your hood for the first time. The light is blinding. You blink for 10 seconds before his face comes into focus. He sets a small recorder on the table. Say your name, where you're from. Say you're safe. Proof of life recording. They've identified you. They know exactly who you are. You keep your voice steady. You say your name, your outlet, the date, correct and precise. If this recording reaches anyone paying attention, that timestamp is evidence. It is the only message you are able to send to the outside world, and you make it count. He takes the recorder. The hood goes back on. Hour 16. The voices outside get louder. More of them now. And you understand the tone even when you can't catch all the words. Someone is disagreeing. About something. About you. You press your back against the wall and breathe through your nose. Because this, right here, is statistically the most dangerous window of any kidnapping. When the captors disagree, decisions get made fast. And fast decisions in situations like this rarely go in the hostage's favor. You need them to keep arguing. You need more time. 24 hours in. You've slept in 40-minute fragments, jolting awake at every creak and footstep. Your wrists are raw where the chain rubs. Your lower back is locked from the chair. But your mind is sharper than it's been since the moment those door locks clicked. Because you've made a decision. No one is coming for you in the next 24 hours. Your phone is gone. Your editor won't formally report you missing for at least another day. The embassy takes time. And law enforcement in this region, compromised, doesn't even begin to cover it. So you stop waiting to be saved, and you start working. You map the room using sound alone. Dripping pipe, northeast corner. Guard footsteps. They pace for 8 minutes, then go still for 12. Shift change happens every 8 hours. During the handoff, there are exactly 4 minutes where both voices are audible at once. The outgoing guard and the incoming one. Overlapping, distracted. 4 minutes. You memorize the chain. 3 feet of slack, enough to stand, not enough to reach the door. You memorize the bolt in the wall. Old concrete. When you lean your weight into it at the right angle, there's give. Barely a millimeter, but it's there. The bread came on a plastic tray. The tray has a corner edge. You are not writing an escape plan. You are building a library of options, so that when a window opens, even for 4 seconds, you don't have to decide. You just have to move. Hour 31. The door opens again. The young man, no recorder this time. Just one question, delivered without sitting down. Who else knows what you were investigating? Your blood drops 10 degrees. This is the question that changes everything. They are not holding you for ransom. They are holding you for information control. Trying to find out how far your story has already spread, and whether silencing you now would do any good. You look him in the eye, and you lie. Calmly. Completely. Your editor has everything. 3 colleagues have full copies of your notes. It's already been filed with your publication's legal team. It's too late to contain. He watches your face for a long moment, the way someone does when they're deciding whether to believe you. Then he leaves without a word. You sit in the dark, heart slamming against your ribs, wondering if you just bought yourself another day or just signed your own death warrant. Hour 38. During guard pacing, you work the bolt, 1 millimeter at a time. The ringing in your ears covers any sound the concrete makes. There's a hairline crack running from the anchor point down toward the floor that wasn't there yesterday. You don't rush. Rushing is how people get caught. You just keep working. Hour 48. You feel the change before you can explain it. The guards are louder. The pattern of their footsteps has broken. More voices than usual. And from the fragments you catch, it isn't an argument this time. It's an agreement. Whatever was being decided above you, it has been decided. And the energy in this building tells you it did not go in your favor. You have hours, maybe less. You make your move. At the next shift change, 4 minutes of overlapping voices, you brace your feet flat against the wall and pull the chain with everything you have. The bolt tears free. The sound is like a crack of ice, sharp, sudden, and you freeze, heart stopped, waiting for the door to burst open. The voices outside don't change. They didn't hear it. Your hands are free. You sit completely still for 90 seconds, breathing through your mouth in controlled sips, listening to every frequency of sound in the building. Nothing changes. You stand for the first time in 2 days. Your legs buckle. Your vision goes gray at the edges. You give yourself 10 seconds, exactly 10, to stabilize. Then you move to the door and ease it open 1 centimeter at a time. The hallway is 30 feet long, one bare bulb. And at the far end, a man you've never seen. Sitting in a plastic chair, facing away from you, rifle laid across his knees. He is not asleep. His head moves slightly. He is awake. The exit is behind him. To your left, a door frame with no door, just darkness beyond it. You have 4 seconds before your window closes. You go left, into the dark. You press your back against the far wall of the storage room and pull a tarp over your body. It smells like gasoline and old rubber. You breathe through your mouth in the smallest sips you can manage, because your nose, even one exhale, makes sound. Footsteps. Someone walks into the hallway, stops outside your door. You hear them try the handle. The door swings open. The chain is still attached to the wall, the free end tucked under the chair. Whoever is looking in sees the chain, sees the chair, sees nothing wrong. The door closes. Footsteps recede. You wait 7 minutes, counting every second in your head, lips moving silently, before you move again. The man in the plastic chair has stepped outside. You have 10 seconds of open hallway. You take them. You don't run. You don't breathe. You move like each step might be your last, because 2 of them almost were. The door at the end of the hall opens onto a yard full of gray pre-dawn light, dust and gravel. A rusted water tank. A corrugated metal fence with a gap just wide enough for your shoulders. You go through it. And you walk, jaw set, hands steady for the first time in 72 hours, into the street where ordinary life is just beginning its morning. A woman across the road sees your face, sees your wrists. She knows. She gestures to a door. You follow her inside. She hands you a phone without a word. It takes 4 tries to dial. Your hands are shaking that badly, but you dial. 72 hours. That's how long it took to permanently rewrite everything you understood about fear, about survival, and about what human beings are capable of when every option except one has been taken from them. Here's what those 3 days taught you that no book, no training, no preparation ever could. Panic is not the enemy. It's just noise. What kills people isn't fear. It's what they do in the first 2 hours when fear convinces them to react before they think. Every moment you chose to analyze instead of scream was a moment you stayed alive. Information is the only currency that matters. You gave them nothing real. And in a world where your body becomes someone else's leverage, your mind is the only thing they cannot chain to a wall. Patience is not passivity. It is the sharpest weapon you own. The bolt in that wall didn't come free because of one desperate pull. It came free because of 30 hours of quiet, invisible pressure. 1 millimeter at a time, in the dark, when no one was watching. And the last thing those 72 hours taught you, the people who survive aren't special. They're not trained operators or action heroes. They are ordinary people who made one decision, the same decision, over and over, in the darkness. Not yet. Not today.